Perception is the silent architect of reality, a subtle yet powerful force that shapes how we experience, interpret, and navigate the world. It acts as the filter through which we encounter every moment, forming the lens that molds our beliefs, values, and, ultimately, our existence. Despite its pervasive influence, perception is not static. It is dynamic, fluid, and ever-changing, just as much a reflection of our inner world as it is of the external one. This idea echoes Plato's allegory of the cave, where perception is initially bound by shadows on the wall until one dares to turn toward the light, unlocking a deeper, truer reality. When we come to understand perception as an active, malleable portal, we unlock boundless opportunities. We begin to recognize that our view of the world is not fixed. It is a flexible construct that can be reshaped to embrace broader, richer dimensions of understanding. This realization is exhilarating, and the challenge lies in seeing perception as a gateway, where we discover that what we perceive is not absolute reality, but a personal construct. Like the prisoners in the cave, what we perceive is but a shadow of a greater truth. If perception is malleable, so too is our experience of reality. This understanding holds immense potential. By consciously shifting our perception, we can transform the very fabric of our lives. As this shift unfolds, it opens new pathways, inviting us to explore the mysteries of existence, the complexities of human nature, and the limitless potentials of consciousness. Given that perception is not a static, but a fluid and evolving construct that constantly molds our experiences and identities, what influences perception formation? Viewing perception as a doorway to our internal and external realities compels us to acknowledge our prejudices and widen our outlooks. Acknowledging the fluid nature of perception empowers us to fully live the complexities of the human experience. Still, expansion comes with its own set of challenges. It requires courage, vulnerability, and the willingness to confront the shadows within ourselves. As we navigate this terrain, we open ourselves to new insights, transformation, and deeper connections with both ourselves and others. Ultimately, we hold the power to shape our reality. By embracing curious exploration, we widen our perspective, gain clarity, and see the world in a new light. At its core, perception involves the brain interpreting sensory input. Our senses, sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell, serve as conduits through which we interact with the world. The brain processes these sensory signals, organizing them into coherent experiences that we interpret as reality. Yet, this seemingly straightforward process is an intricate design shaped by psychological, cultural, and contextual factors that influence our individual experiences, a puzzle in flux with many moving pieces. We do not perceive a direct reflection of objective reality. Our past experiences, cultural conditioning, emotional states, beliefs, and even the inherent limitations of our physical senses all play critical roles in shaping how we perceive the world. For instance, consider two individuals observing the same sunset. The way people perceive it varies. Some find it awe-inspiring, while others feel indifferent or melancholic about the simple transition from day to night. The divergence stems from individual contexts, experiences, and emotions, not the sunset itself. This selective nature of perception shows that we do not perceive everything around us. Instead, we perceive what our minds deem relevant. Cognitive psychologists refer to this as selective attention, a mechanism that allows us to focus on specific stimuli while filtering out others. This ability is essential for navigating a world brimming with information, but it also narrows our field of vision, limiting our understanding of what is possible. While selective attention is crucial for survival, it can lead to cognitive biases, systematic deviations from rational judgment. These biases can skew our interpretation of reality, leading us to form conclusions based on incomplete or distorted perceptions. For example, confirmation bias may cause us to favor information that aligns with our pre-existing beliefs while disregarding contradictory evidence. In social contexts, this bias can manifest as stereotyping, where we make generalized assumptions about individuals based on preconceived notions tied to their identity, culture, or background. Habitual straying away from objective thinking is common since life is often based upon individual subjective experience. Observing limitations through practices such as mindfulness and self-reflection bring light to where we may focus our effort of growth, which may initially feel uncomfortable, yet within our comfort zone, growth rarely exists. Time, as it relates to perception and personal growth, presents a rich and complex tapestry woven from both scientific and philosophical threads. Quantum physics, for instance, challenges our conventional understanding of time as something fixed and linear. Instead, it suggests that time is relative, experienced differently depending on one's frame of reference, as exemplified in Einstein's theory of relativity. This scientific view reveals that time is more fluid than we traditionally imagine. In the same way, our subjective experience of time varies with our emotions and perception. Moments of joy seem to pass swiftly, while painful or uncomfortable experiences can make time feel stretched and almost endless. This idea parallels McTaggart's philosophical stance in his Unreality of Time, where he argued that distinctions between past, present, and future are not fundamental truths but rather constructs created by our consciousness. According to McTaggart, our perception of time as a series of moments passing in succession is an illusion. Time itself does not exist independently of how we experience it. Personal growth, then, involves deepening our understanding of how we interpret and live in these moments of time, using reflection and introspection to reshape our life narrative and free ourselves from the limiting belief that time must be a rigid sequence. Hegel's philosophy offers further insight by viewing time as an evolving process, a dialectical unfolding where opposing forces interact and integrate to create a more complete and coherent whole. Hegel saw history and personal experience as moving through a series of stages: a thesis, an initial state, an antithesis, a conflicting state, and ultimately a synthesis, a resolution that incorporates aspects of both. Within personal growth, this process often takes shape as an internal dialogue, where we confront conflicting emotions, past experiences, and future aspirations to forge a stronger and more unified self. For instance, feelings of past trauma or unresolved emotional challenges may initially conflict with our current understanding of self. Yet, by working through these opposing experiences, we can integrate them into a more complete understanding of who we are. Hegel's model highlights that growth is rarely linear. Rather, it involves cycles of conflict and resolution, where each synthesis leads us to a new stage of understanding. This view of time as a dynamic, unfolding process helps us see our identity not as a fixed point but as something fluid, adaptable, and evolving over time. Combining quantum physics insights into the relativity of time with Hegel's dialectical process, we gain a powerful framework for personal growth. The synthesis of past experiences and future aspirations into our present selves fosters a sense of continuity, showing us that emotions and perceptions are not static but part of a greater flow. Embracing this flow allows us to recognize that cognitive biases, such as confirmation bias or stereotyping, are often tied to fixed perceptions of ourselves and our experiences. By transcending these biases and understanding time as a continuum, we can approach personal growth with an expanded awareness, constantly integrating new insights and perspectives. This mindset encourages us to move beyond the idea of time as a strict, linear path and instead view it as a dynamic, cyclical journey that supports our evolving self-understanding and growth. Our emotional states profoundly influence our perceptions. When we are happy, we interpret events more positively, whereas negative emotions may lead us to perceive the world as bleak and uninviting. Emotional perception can create a feedback loop. Negative experiences can heighten despair, reinforcing a worldview that perpetuates negativity. Understanding this fluid interplay between emotion and perception becomes essential, as it highlights the subjective nature of our experiences. Emotional states not only color our interpretation of reality, but also shape the mental frameworks through which we navigate the world. For example, a person experiencing anxiety may perceive ambiguous situations as threatening, while someone in a relaxed state may view the same circumstances as neutral or even positive. These emotional filters act as invisible lenses, subtly adjusting how we interpret sensory data and shaping our interactions with the world. Beneath the surface, even more complex, are the subconscious layers of perception, those automatic responses we have developed from experiences or cultural backgrounds, often operating outside of conscious awareness. While many of these responses are adaptive, helping us navigate daily life efficiently, they can also lock us into rigid thinking patterns, preventing us from seeing beyond our habitual interpretations. Denying someone else's experience does not negate their experience of it. As perception evolves, active listening becomes a key driver for maintaining balanced interactions with other people. This openness in perspective is an essential pathway to empathy. Empathy goes beyond merely understanding someone else's emotions. It is about comprehending their lived experience of human complexity on a profound level, broadening the scope of our own viewing lens. When we remain open to curiosity and discovery, we allow ourselves to step into the realities of others, engaging deeply with their emotions, struggles, and perspectives. This fosters compassion, reducing our inclination to judge or categorize others through rigid filters. For instance, when perceiving individuals who have made mistakes or engaged in harmful behaviors, we might be quick to label them as bad or evil. Yet, by opening our mind to consider broader contexts, such as their upbringing, past traumas, or socio-economic pressures, we can approach them from a vantage point with understanding rather than condemnation. This shift promotes a more compassionate and constructive engagement with others. For more, order your copy of Unmasked, The Fall and Rise Beyond the Shadows on Amazon today.
In a world where the line between hero and villain blurs, we often wear masks to navigate our complexities, hiding from our truths and the shadows that lurk within. Unmasked, The Fall and Rise Beyond the Shadows invites you to peel back these layers and explore the intricate dance of light and dark that defines our existence. This powerful non-fiction work delves deep into the duality of human nature, illuminating the stark realities of our inner struggles. What if the villain you fear resides within? What if the hero you seek is the one you've overlooked? This book pushes you to confront the hero and villain inside all of us, urging a transformative change in perspective. Through thought-provoking insights and profound explorations, it reveals how embracing our shadows can lead to unparalleled growth and empowerment. Journey through the depths of trauma, identity, and self-awareness as you uncover the narratives that shape your reality. Discover how the wounds of the past can transform into the wisdom of the present, leading you to rise beyond the shadows that once defined you. With each page, you'll unlock the potential for healing, connection, and authenticity, redefining what it means to be truly whole. Unmasked, The Fall and Rise Beyond the Shadows is more than a book, it's a guide to understanding the complexities of human nature. It dares you to question your perceptions, embrace your duality, and ultimately rise as the hero of your own story. Unmask your truth. Embrace your journey.